Hi, welcome to the award-winning Ed Brown Show. And really, hey, the Gremlins are everywhere. Now they're in Metro, so they might be in part of the show. We hope not. Hope we can get our show in before the Gremlins get involved. But what we're gonna have a commentary, and then we're gonna have one of my top associates here, Kamaria Richmond, and she has a radio show, and she brings some of the best guests to the Ed Brown Show. But the first item we're going to talk about is the election. What do you think about the election? Or do you want me to give my commentary first?
I will let you start first.
Okay.
And I'll chime in.
You well, I don't know what the American people are going to do, but the elections now, hey, look, I'll be 86. I've never seen a presidential election on this level. Never seen it all those years, 86 years. This is a big joke. But what people have to realize is that they have to go and vote regardless. And what they have to do, remember the local elections, those are the guys that get in your pocketbook, that make laws that you don't know nothing about. Not the presidential election. You got to vote in that. But don't forget the local election. That's the county election and the state election and even your city election. Find out, because those are the individuals that really, really affect you. Now, president maybe once in a while, but you can see what Congress did to the last president. Everything that he proposed, they just turned it all down. Said we're not going to pass anything. That's the type of mentality that you have there. So that means what you have to do your homework. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to anybody. Go and do your homework. When you get ready to vote for somebody, do some homework. Don't go by what Susie say or your mother say or your friend say. Go and do your own homework, because, hey, it's a lot of, excuse the expression, what do you call it, BS out there. but anyway, that's the way. I'm telling you, this was the worst thing that I've ever, in my 86 years, have ever witnessed. Election of this caliber. And I'm just saying that there's nothing that I can do more than to tell you to educate yourself, educate your children. Tell them how important it is to do your homework for anyone. If they're running for dog catcher, doesn't make any difference. Do your homework on it, because eventually what happened is the dogs be run, or either the trash man, and they decide to go on strike, and you got tons of garbage there in your house. So all I say is do your homework. We don't want this type of thing to continue in our America. And this is our America, not yours, our. And that's where we have to look at it. We don't want to go down the drain. And I think that's what's happening now. So tell me, Kamaria, what do you think about this election? The point that, is very sensitive, because you have a woman for the first time is running for the president of the United States, and some of the people in this country are belittling women, running for office. Why is it a big deal? Women take care of your children, they raise them, they do everything. They set that education up for your children. Women do. Men, he's out there, sure, he's out there making money, but money is not everything. But the most important thing you want to do is get the right person in. And that's what I'm saying. Hey, you see what I did? I went out and got a young lady here to help me, because I know that her point of view and my point of view is going to be different. And she has her own radio show. So what are you going to do? Just tell us, what do you think about this purge that they have on women now?
There is something really wrong with this election. One, it says a lot about this country. The people who live here and work here and breathe here, been there all their lives. It says a lot about this country when someone like Donald Trump, I heard today, has gotten like over 7 million votes. And this is
They
someone,
call it indoctrination.
yeah, this one, he's racist, he's
Right.
sexist, he's like, oh, I love the uneducated. How someone like that can curse almost through every talk that he gives. He curses, he recite all this violence, and, you know, he's like, oh, my people, you know, they're just lively, and, you know, they're just explaining themselves. But how are you as president say, I would have punched him in the face, or I would kill him, or I would do something like that? How is he going to go over to Russia or China or any place and have a conversation with another world leader?
And the world
That's
leaders,
a scary thought.
well, yeah, and the world leaders, a lot of them are women now. So I mean, how is he going to approach the Chancellor of Germany? She's a woman, you know? So
And very strong.
right.
Very strong. And it's I just cannot believe that this is where this country is going today. You have a president who made campaign promises. He's the only president that I know of that has tried to achieve all of those goals. And he's done as much as he could, as fast as he could, despite this lackluster, I'm going to say lame duck Congress.
Right.
They want to talk about lame duck president. How about a lame duck
Right.
Congress? And they fought him on the way. And now, you know, he has this new, you know, person, this new justice person, and they're going to block him. First, they all like him. I don't know his name. They all like him, but they're still going to block him because it's President Obama's
Right.
pick. And, you know, President Obama has pretty much just walked on water to do what he could with this country. He got it back to where it should be. It's crazy about all these conservatives. Oh, you know, we're not, where is the money and where's this? Less
we have to do,
unemployment.
we got to get a definition for conservative. What is, you show me someone that's conservative, you know.
Well,
That's the idea. I think conservative is something they're hiding their biases in.
Exactly.
When they say conservative.
100%.
You think about that when somebody tells you conservative, because there's some biases and there's not dollars either.
Right.
You know,
They want to take
it's
the country back.
They want to take their country back.
Take the country
you
back.
know, I mean, what kind of nonsense is that?
So I'm like, how far back do you want to go is what I want to know.
Plus the Indians, I know, they said, what is this? Take the country back. We've been here 400, 600, 800 years, 1,000 years. Somebody's going to talk about taking the country back. You know, but actually, you know, when you wander through time, and I'll go back to the female agenda. All this time that man has actually being able to conduct what I said, a positive thing, he hasn't learned the basic thing. If we going to look what we have with all men, majority men, anything is no good. Let me tell you, because the women have some good ideas because they have raised your children. Most of you, you know, you don't realize what a woman has gone through. I don't know whether I would want to go through the pain and agony that the average woman looks forward to. And then they're able to produce in our society.
Absolutely.
Hey, well, you're going to talk about women, I could be here all day talking about the accomplishment that they have made under these circumstances. That's what I look at. You know, somebody walking on you every other day, you know, under these circumstances. Why not base it on ability, huh?
Right. And you can say the same thing about the, not just women, but also people of color. You know, strides have been made, but not more. You know, there could be more. But the thing with Hillary, it would be great to have a woman as president. Not only should it be Hillary, she has been in the trenches with President Obama. She knows this country back and forward. Now, I like Bernie, but I did lose some respect for him because I thought he was very disrespectful in the debate before the last. And that really kind of turned me off. But anything that comes, any question, Hillary can give you history. She can give you where it's going. She has the insight because she's been in the trenches to be able to take the country forward. So she's been great. I'm so happy that she gives President Obama kudos because he has worked very hard. His administration has worked very hard. But she's the person that can just go ahead and step into his shoes because she's been there. Bernie, lots of great ideas, but who's going to pay for it? And, you know, how long is he going to be in office? He can maybe do one term. He can't do 2 terms. But not only that, what he is proposing, I don't think can be paid for, although he says that it can. And most of it wouldn't go through Congress anyway. They wouldn't even pass some of that stuff. It'd be blocked.
Right. Put a block on everything. You know, we're not going to do anything. But getting back to the women, I think that they themselves have made America. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
They made these contributions under duress of a male. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And this is that's why I say they have made, women have made the contribution in this country under duress. And what we have to stop doing is, what about ability? That's all we want to do, is use the word ability. Next time you see somebody, do you have the ability to do what you're doing? You know, or is it you know somebody in the right places? America is loaded with that type. What is it? The good old boy network, and that's
it's alive
really
and well.
Good old boy. Remember that. Good old boy network. That's the thing that's keeping qualified people out of position to help other people.
Right.
The good old boy network. But anyway, I mean, it was developed, and they're going to continue to try to use it. And when you continue to do things like that, this is the type of election that you produce. This is the type of quality that you produce. And all I say is that, hey, look, the women brought you in the world. Remember that, you know, if it wasn't for a woman, you wouldn't be here. See,
and, you know,
but the value that's involved with women making decisions. Generally, men have a tendency to work the good old boy. When I say good old boy, I'm talking about male, you know, network. And America is past that now. What we have to do, we have to evaluate our system. And what it's doing is going to the dogs now.
Well, you know, it is that thing, you know, anything you can do, I can do better. But women have made great strides, and you need that balance.
Right.
When it's just all men, there is no balance.
It's another side. Well, what we're going to do, we're going to take a break here and come back and talk about, hey, we're going to talk about your radio program. That's very positive. See you in a second. Welcome back to the Ed Brown Show. And I have my associate here, Romana. She's going to Richmond, and she has a terrific radio show. We're going to talk about something positive. We're going to leave the commentary on election. I mean, that's negative, you know. But anyway, she's going to tell us some of the outstanding guests that she's had on her radio show. And she's had some of them on the Ed Brown Show. And that's what I'm proud of, because they are really outstanding. We had Devin, Uncle Devin, that was supposed to be here today. But hey, Metro did him in, like it's doing a lot of you all in. And Metro is doing a lot of you all in, not just one day, the whole year. I mean, they not function like they should. And they just got a new superintendent. Well, tell me, Kamaria, tell us about this show. How did you get involved in developing this show? Give us your background on that.
Well, you know, it's called the Stroke Diva Fabulous radio show.
And how did you come up with it?
And very, very interesting. I had the stroke in 2004, and you know, having to learn how to do everything over again, whether it was reading or writing or talking or walking. I had a ton of therapy, which is why I can sit here today and have a conversation with you. But during that time, my major was radio, television, and film.
You majored in...
Right.
Right.
But I graduated and did something completely opposite. But while I was in school and once I graduated, I did the public awareness calendar for WPFW for a couple years. And then I had to transition onto something else. But the young woman that I transitioned into that position was Ananda. Ananda Leak, she's been on your show, her dad's been on the show. And so we've been friends for many years. So she took over my spot at the public awareness calendar in WPFW. And once I had the stroke and I'm trying to get my feet back on, solid ground, she was just like, KT, you need to
She
do
was
something.
your mentor,
Yeah, she's like,
right?
you need to do something.
Yeah.
To kind of get you back out. And, so that you're out and vibrant and you're talking and meeting people. And so she came up with the program. It's the Digital Sisterhood Blogger in Residence. So for almost a year, I do the radio show, but she was like the producer. So she helped me in so many different ways. And after that period, she's like, okay, it's yours. It's on your own. So she
Doing
came
a great
up,
job.
Yeah, thank you. She came up with the Stroke Diva Fabulous show because she's like, well, you're still fabulous. You had a stroke, but you're still fabulous, and you can do this. I just have full confidence that you could do it. So that's where the name comes from. And so we were talking before the break about women. Well, my focus is on women and women's issues. I interview men too, but mostly
They get enough coverage anyway.
They get enough coverage. But mostly, I want to talk to women and all the positive and there are so many women that are entrepreneurs and they are doing great things for them, their families, their communities. And so I like to highlight women, whether we're talking about my show on Monday, we were talking about this young woman who had a really tough childhood. She felt abandoned. And what that journey, what it took her to, what it meant for her to do what she's doing today. So we may talk about issues. We had last week on your show, my show, we talked about domestic abuse. And
wow, that's a big one.
That's a big
abuse,
one.
Yeah.
So, and which here in Prince George's County, it's rather rampant. But all the strides that these women have made, it may have been a bad situation, but they learned from it, and now they're stronger, and they can talk about it or write about it. I've had a lot of women authors on the show. I've had a lot of women that were life coaches. I've had people that talk about meditation and numerology. And so whatever I'm interested in, that's who I invite to be on the show. And so people send me like little messages, I'd like to be on the show. So I'm like, great. For me, it's a great forum. It's part of my cognitive ability. It keeps me really working on this brain a lot, and working on your show helps me work on this brain a lot because I do testing every year. And each year my testing goes way up, and that's great from my numerologist. My numerologist. My numerologist.
But really,
I have a cardiologist.
The subject matter that you get involved in is very helpful. Just like you were talking about domestic abuse, and you do a lot of shows where women are involved in the business world, which I really like. Which a lot of people don't realize that the women were involved in that type of business. It's unusual. To have, and most of them are on the level of CEO.
A lot of them.
That's the positive thing because it gives them the exposure that we as men don't give them, because we're surprised that the CEO is a woman. Just like now, they hey, they're talking about the first woman president, and Prince George County is talking about the first black woman with the Senate. And those things
great.
people need to know. Why is it a big deal? When a woman or a minority or something get involved in something that that men normally, they delegate. And what happens is that they have a tendency to want to rule, whereas how many women are behind men? The men wouldn't be there because the women has the brain. They're the ones that made it possible for that company to grow. That they're the ones that come up with the idea, to develop because myself, I read the Wall Street Journal every day, and I see in the business section how women have actually, I didn't know a woman was involved in that. It's a well-known corporation, but a woman is running. But most people don't realize that a woman is the CEO of that company, and that the things that she has done in this political society of the good old boy network, that's the thing that holds her down, is the fact that she's a woman. Same thing with the president now. The fact that she's a woman, that's one strike. I guess even, and what makes it worse is some women join this group,
They're drinking from the same Kool-Aid because there is a problem.
Right. Yeah, some women join.
That is a
and
problem.
You would think this was the opportunity for them to see a woman in making decisions and in a position like that. Yeah, because what they don't realize, hey, a man has tried it and he has goofed it up. You know what I mean? Or he hasn't done the job. And when a woman does it, they don't make a big deal out of it. If the woman is positive, they don't say a word, because I didn't know that Baltimore had a female mayor, the District of Columbia, female mayor, and you go all over the country, and females are in positive positions, making decisions that men feel is unusual. It's not unusual to have a woman in charge. That's that ego that we have. You know what I mean? I can't, and some people even say I can't work for a woman, just because she's a woman. It has nothing to do with her talent.
Right.
If a woman is bringing millions to me, she can work for me anytime. The idea is that, we have to remember, you're in business to make money. Does it make any difference who makes it? See?
Right, and a lot of the women that I interview are women that own their own companies.
Right.
They started with a small firm or a big firm, and they were able to do it and get out on their own. And a lot of the women that I interview are African American women. So
that's another step.
It's another thing. And we all know now, we should know, that the most educated person in America is the black woman. The most educated in America is the black woman. So we have made strides. And so you can't tell us, for all these women that are educated, that have their own businesses, and they're doing the family thing, they're doing, whether they're in some kind of community organizing or the church, women wear so many different hats, and they do it, and they do it well.
Well, the only time they emphasize female is when it's to their advantage.
Right. Well, it like the election with, he put, I'm losing my memory for a second. But Palin, I guess, was there to kind of appease to the woman's vote.
Right.
And she was just crazy.
Yeah.
So you can't just put any woman out front just to have a woman out front.
No,
she needs to be someone of substance.
But
McCain, that's it was McCain.
Generally, that blocks our real evaluation of the individual. First thing they do with minorities, the same thing. First thing, a woman, it's very obvious when she walks in, she's a woman. It's very obvious when a minority walks in, they're a minority. So right away, the door closes halfway, you know.
Right.
So then you have to look at, I use sports as a good example. A Southern University down there, and I think it was in Alabama. They played a little dinky football team up in Pennsylvania. Just played them for, you know, practice. You know, we know we can beat them. And some minorities, they came up, and this was the #1 football team. Some minorities came up, and what happened is that the coach said, "Oh," and they beat them. They beat beat this Alabama team. And the coach said, "We want some of them." And the assistant coach said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "We need some of those black Americans. They can really run the ball." You know? And so right away, although all around here, and maybe still some, the segregation was there. But if you look at sports now, and you find the owners, they figure that, hey, blacks can be owners, they can be players, but they can't be. They can make money as long as they're making money for. The same thing with a woman. If she's the coach or something like that, she can't do it. But anyway, we want to thank you for all the time that you really have put in the Ed Brown Show, and I'm very proud of you. And I talk about it all the time.
I thank you for acknowledging me.
With Ed Brown, hey, we go by ability. Hey, has nothing to do with the sex of a person or the color of the skin. So what we want to do is say, hey, watch out for those, you know, gremlins. They everywhere. They in Metro. You find
the election.
everywhere.
The election.
See you next time.